Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, when it comes to living a long, happy life, being able to move easily is so very important. Here to share some ways that we can work on that, we welcome back our health and fitness expert, Beth Oliver. Great to see you.
Good morning, Helen.
You talk about lifespan versus health span. Right. So tell me about that.
So we have traditionally talked a lot about lifespan, kind of meaning literally how long someone is expected to live. But what we're really starting to focus on more now is during that lifespan, how healthy are you? So how well can you move through space? How well are you staying connected socially with people?
Yeah.
How's your nutrition? How's your sleep? How's your stress management?
Right.
So what we want to get after is in that lifespan, hopefully it is long, but hopefully it's healthy for as long as possible.
So you say there's certain moves that we need to be able to do in order to make sure that we can move as we get older, right?
So, and these movements may seem kind of inconsequential or almost even silly,
right?
But you'll find if you stop doing them or you stop having the ability to do them, all of a sudden the things that you can do in life decrease. So your movement vocabulary decreases.
Yes.
And you have to start relying on other people more than you really want
to. Okay. All right, let's go through and show me some moves. Okay.
So the first one, of course, is squatting. And I'm not talking about having to squat with a big barbell. I'm talking about the real function of being able to sit and stand. So for a lot of people, even just getting up out of a chair is difficult.
Right.
So you don't want to stop doing it, and you want to keep doing it before it's hard for you to do. So if it is a little bit hard, and particularly if you're sitting like back in a comfy couch, scoot a little forward, and then use your hands to give yourself a boost to stand.
Okay. But shouldn't you be able to get up without giving yourself?
Well, that is the goal. So if you struggle, use your hands until you don't need to.
Right.
But you can also just use, and my physical therapist taught me this after I had my last hip replacement.
Right.
When I was like, I just can't get up. Just use your thumbs because it gives you just enough for your brain to understand what you're trying to do.
Oh, interesting.
And then, of course, Helen, what you want to do is be able to sit and stand without using your hands.
And now the thing is that we're doing here, what we're doing here is on these stiff chairs. In a couch, it's not so easy.
It's not so easy.
But I have definitely, since meeting you and learning a lot from you, when I'm in my couch and I'm going to get up, I definitely just try to use nothing to get up, right? And that's what you suggest.
And it's important because it influences your ability to get in and out of a car.
Right.
It's even like being at a restaurant and being able to get up without leaning on the table and knocking things over.
Right.
So all of those things they are really important. Get to your day-to-day
and
life.
also do it without going. Ugh.
Exactly.
There's that. Okay.
Which can be kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
So the next thing we have to talk about is lunges, of course.
Yes.
Now you and I have talked. We play around with lots of lunges. I do. And
I don't necessarily like them, though.
Okay, but here's why I love them.
All right.
Because a lunge is what you have to do to be able to go up and down stairs.
Sure.
So as soon as you can't do that, you stop going places, you take the elevator, all those things, right?
I've given up if I get on the elevator.
Well, I know, right?
Yeah.
So a lunge, but what I want you to do after that is a single leg balance. Nice, Helen.
Okay.
Yeah, your balance has always been good. Lunge and lift. And then, of course, without using a chair to help.
Right.
And then if you've got some room in your house, you lunge forward and kind of walking lunges forward.
Oh, got it.
Because when you think about going up and down stairs, you're doing a single leg balance every time you shift your weight.
Right. Does it help, too, if you're going upstairs, not to use your hands and brace the staircase?
Yes.
The railing?
Yes. Yeah. So even if you have to go a little bit slower, totally fine.
Sure.
But so you want to be able to go up and down stairs carrying your laundry basket and things like that.
Don't use the railing. Gotcha.
Yes, if you don't need to. And that even influences things like being able to step into your tub.
Right.
So these are the things that are really important.
Okay.
Another thing that seems super simple is being able to reach overhead and circle your arm around. So if you can't reach overhead, then you find yourself starting to change where everything is in your cupboards and putting everything down on one shelf.
Oh, good point.
Can't do your hair by yourself. Right. Things like that. So being able to rotate. My physical therapist says every time you walk through a doorway, you should reach up and tap
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a good point.
To maintain that ability.
Right, to be able to do it. Absolutely.
And then notice how when you do that, you start to rotate your trunk as well.
Yeah.
Which is another thing we have to really be able to do.
Yeah.
because that influences things like even being able to drive, to look over your shoulder.
Right.
Regardless of whether you have a backup camper, you
That
still
is so true.
And so when you feel stiff and you can't do those things, then you start to think, oh, I can't do that anymore. I
Right.
can't drive anymore.
Right. No, but looking over your shoulder, that's like the first time my head gets a little exercise in the mornings. Oh,
I
car's
know,
coming
right?
this
You got to
way.
wake things up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one thing that people hear that you shouldn't do, which you actually should do, is being able to bend over as if to touch your toes.
Okay.
So we want to be able to get the upper body to hang forward.
Without bending your knees.
You can soften your knees,
Okay.
but you do want the ability for the body to come forward. And if that's really challenging, you can do it from a chair, so you don't have you're not supporting quite so much
Right.
weight. But the reason that's important is our vertebrae are meant to have a little space between them, right? And so gravity, even if you're not doing anything crazy, gravity wants those vertebrae to kind of come down on each other, and then it influences the little disc and the little padding that you have in there. So it's one of the few ways that we can get the
Great idea.
spine to decompress.
Yeah,
Super
These are all
important.
great ideas that we should all practice every day. Really, just in the during the day.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Beth,
You're
as
welcome.
always. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.